Hello, hey everybody. Welcome back to another video, another one of these vlogging type videos. Just been doing more of these videos lately, just because I don't know, just feel like getting stuff off my chest, and it's good to, just to speak my mind, just because I don't speak politically on these vlogs or anything like that, or extremely personally. So believe me, it's not like that sort of thing. It's kind of like a free talking type of video. So so I'm not here to air out my dirty laundry. I might bring up a few things, but I'm not going to be out here, projecting onto you guys, because that's not right. So, but I do want to talk about. I'm off to do some errands, by the way. But what I do want to talk about, though, is a lot about the lack of accountability that I feel like a lot of us have, and I feel like it's a universal thing. It's not a generation thing. This is a universal thing. I've noticed a lot of people don't have this ability. I'm not saying that I'm perfect or anything like that, but I've been doing a lot of thinking lately, a lot of reflecting of my own actions. For those who follow the vlogs or just anything of that nature, I lost my dog not too long ago, or at least I found out that I lost my dog not too long ago. It's been about like a few weeks now, almost a month, sitting with that, and it's a lot to chew on, especially given the circumstances. For some of you guys, you may think a little bit more insensitive, and might think, oh, it's just a pet. I know someone especially who would say that, and to those people and to that person in particular, I say, you don't know who that was to me. He was a beautiful boy, with a wonderful heart. Got me through a lot of he was there for me through a lot of bad. And he was always comfort. I can always go over and sleep with him, and like he was a really special kind of individual, because he's family to me. He's not just a dog. He was family. So lately I've been also, because on one level, it's like you're trying to accept the passing of a family member, which is in and of itself very difficult, especially, when it's someone that you have such a close connection to. But it's another when you have the responsibility for that family member, and because of the unique, we will say, because again, I don't want to air my dirty laundry onto you guys, because of the unique circumstances that had surrounded me, it was difficult to be around my dog during his last few months. Luckily, I did get to see him one more time. It was very telling day, because he was basically telling me that he was on his way out, and he was also very down. I could tell that he was depressed. He was very saddened. He felt very lonesome. That was the aura that I got. And I said my goodbyes, and I apologized to him as well, though, because despite whatever love I did give for him, it's not the kind of love that would have sustained him or would have given him a full life. I was not the best owner, and I take accountability for that. I understand what I could have done better. Could have taken him out for more walks. Could have maybe gotten him more help with the vet. And I could say a bunch of things, but again, I'm not gonna air my dirty laundry out. I'm not gonna say anything. But like I said, my situation was very unique. So anybody who knows my stuff would probably tell me, well, you're justified. It's okay because you were dealing with this, you were dealing with that. But it doesn't change the fact that what my responsibility as his owner and as basically as his father, I failed. I did not perform my duty to the best of my ability, and because of that, because of my actions, he suffered for it, and he fell into a depression. And he was, I believe, he was 14, 13, 14 when he passed. But so he was leaving eventually, because it's kind of rare to exist after those years are done. But in terms of an existence, I take the responsibility of that, of saying that I could have done better, and that my love, while genuine and is there, was not all that I could have given. I could have done a lot more. Now, I say all this because I notice that a lot of people do not like to take the weight sometimes when things happen. Some people choose to only view things from one perspective, and I've been seeing, because I can take the selfish route if I want to, because it's a selfish route, regardless of what you tell yourself. It's a very selfish way of thinking. You could, you could say that, oh, well, I had this going on, or, oh, this now was out of my hands, blah, blah, blah. But you could say all that. But is it really fair? Is it really true? Could you have done better? Could you have done this and that? And a lot of times, I think the answers are yes. Now, there are like I said, there are circumstances that really is out of your hands, and you can't do anything about it. But there's a lot of things that I see out of people when they do things. They don't wish to look at themselves. They don't wish to recognize some of the mistakes. And I'm talking in a general sense. It could literally be anything. It could be personal situations, like with family or with relationships. It could be more life-changing stuff about what your future is going to be, what career you choose. People don't like to admit that they're wrong. They don't like to admit that maybe some of those decisions were not the best decisions. Like, if you made a bad career choice, because there is such a thing as bad career choices, whether you want to admit to it or not. If you made a bad career choice, that's your fault. That's no one else's fault. That's not the industry's fault. That's not the business's fault. That's not your parents' fault. Don't blame them for it, because the hope is that the family teaches you right from wrong. Partially, maybe it is theirs to blame, But ultimately, as an adult, if you have the ability to recognize right and wrong. You have also, just to be blunt, if you can access the internet, there's little room to be saying that you didn't know, because you have everything at your disposal. Because it's been proven for a while now that college is not a place for people to start up their careers. It's been proven for a while that moving through life a certain way, like getting married at a young age and doing all these things, that is not a smart move either. Or getting involved in bad situations with bad people, because there are red flags and you should pick up on them. And I'm pretty sure that people most times do, but they don't wish to register it. They get caught up in the whole facade, the whole idea of it. You gotta have some backbone, and just you gotta be able to recognize your own fault and bear that weight. I'm not saying that you gotta sit with it. I'm also not saying that you have to forgive yourself either, because that's something that a lot of people have told me that. Not because of this, but in the past I've been told about forgiveness. And, I've been told through that by strangers. I've been told that by, just by friends. And the thing about forgiveness to me, when I hear about forgiveness, is that forgiveness is just another excuse in my book. Because when I hear someone forgive someone, and you hear about the crap that they did to that person, some people who don't rationalize will think, oh, well, that's being super strong. I mean, he's able to forgive him for all that. I mean, that's a very noble or very, mature dude. If you ask me, that's a child. That's someone who's not thinking clearly. That's someone who's basically giving up on working on it. Because the fact is that if someone's done you wrong, real wrong, like damaged you, like really has put some hurt, I mean, sure, find a place to forgive yourself. I mean, if that's where you're at. But don't ever allow those people back in your life. Don't ever do that. Don't ever let those people in your life, ever. Because they have no business being a part of your life. Especially after all the crap they've done to you. There's no reason. There's zero reason for them to be there. And then these same people will then be caught up in, again, bad situations, and they will ask themselves, well, how did I get here? What went wrong? And it's like I said before. It's sometimes it falls to you. And a lot of people don't like to see it that way. People like to blame others. People like to blame society. People like to blame the government. Some things are the government's fault. Some things are also society's fault. But most of the things that people bring up are your fault. No one else's fault but yours. So quit bitching, quit pointing the finger, and just get your act together and start doing the things that you need to do. Hold yourself accountable, which is something that I'm trying to do. And it may not be a flattering way of dealing with things. It may not be, in your mind, a good way of dealing with things, but I'm not about to become ignorant and say that I did everything I could and everything blah 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 blah. The fact is that I could have done better with my dog. Plain and simple. I could have done better with my dog. I could have been a better owner. I could have helped him out. But I chose not to because of the circumstances. And would I do it all over again? Probably. And I'm not sure what that means. I'm not necessarily sure if that means that I'm holding myself accountable, or if I'm just finding a way to not finding a way out of a bad finding a way out of something. Like it's a very interesting, you know, not very interesting. It's a very, like, it's a lot to think about, So, um, but yeah, I think that a lot of people need to start doing that. Because despite where, even if I do come to a different conclusion, the fact is that I could have done better. I could have been better. And that like, I can go further with that. There's other things that I've done in life that I think about, and I'm like, maybe if I had did some more research, maybe if I did this and that, who knows? But, um, but, But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of accountability that I've been doing lately. A lot of just accepting of things, because ultimately that's what I think a lot of people need to do nowadays. It's not stop forgiving these people. You need to accept them for who they are. If people show you who they are, believe it. Do not twist it. Do not think that you can change them. You can't. When these people, when people are like over 40, they're not going to change. They're not. They're going to be who they are. That's a fundamental part of who they are. So don't expect them to change, all right? So accept them for who they are. And also accept that perhaps you don't want to be around that person, or perhaps you're not comfortable around it. But do not be that ignorant, do not be that blind to just think of that only action. Think about the other things that you're doing. And I guess weigh out what's the best decision, but ultimately, don't think that. Just think about more than yourself, and see what happens, and see what's best for you. For me, if I had to do it all over again, I would do the same exact thing. Whatever what the circumstance was, I would have done I would have done the same exact thing. But I can't help but be saddened. I can't help but be, like, considering what I could have done, basically. So, it's a very interesting, thought to sit with. But you guys let me know your thoughts. I mean, so I think people just need to be more accountable nowadays. People just need to hold themselves more, be more realistic. It doesn't mean that you have to change your whole thinking and all that, but it just means, hey, recognize what you could have done. Accept that perhaps things could have gone this way. Perhaps maybe things could have, like, just consider the other possibilities. I guess. I don't know. It's an interesting thought. So, but you guys let me know. Maybe I'm just in a funk. I don't know. But you guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And yeah, so that's gonna be it for me, guys. And yeah, so I'm gonna go do my thing now, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.